Everyone's very well. Welcome to this wonderful celebration of the World Refugee Day. Now, as you know, America was made up by refugees. So, there are no refugees. We are now all citizens of this country. We are all citizens of this city. And this city, only last week, was awarded at the mayor's conferences, and Mayor Fisher accepted this award, of being the most livable city in the United States. The reasons for that are many. Number one, the cost of living here is much cheaper. Number two, the mayor and our administration have made it a priority to make sure that anybody who comes from all over the world gets as much opportunity to be successful in this city as anyone else. And the third thing is just this gathering of so many cultures, this celebration of so many different nationalities.
For many refugees, the choice is between the horrific or something worse. Many refugees have to decide to stay in a conflict and risk to be killed or leave everything behind. But many refugees, all of them, all of you, come with hope that you will find peace or a new life, with hope that you will learn English, get a job, and become self-sufficient.
And I'm probably the only representative of all of you sitting here. So I want to tell you a little about myself. I was born and raised in a city called Peshawar, which is at the border town between Afghanistan and Pakistan. I was trained as a doctor, trained as a surgeon, went to Britain, qualified with a fellowship in surgery, came back and started working in Pakistan. I worked there for 20 plus years, was an assistant professor of surgery at the Postgraduate Medical Institute. And then, like most things unexpected in life, something unusual happened. 9/11 happened, and a whole lot of things changed in the world. It may have changed for America, but it changed for all over the world. It changed for me. My family is a political family. My brother is a politician. And when a decision was made to combat the Taliban, the party decided that yes, they would fight the Taliban. And because of that, we became a target for the Taliban. So almost a year and a half ago, one day it was Eid for us, which is like Christmas for most of you people. And a suicide bomber walked into my father's house for my brother. He didn't get my brother, but he did kill 6 of our guests, and the only reason my brother survived was because his God actually laid down and sacrificed his life for him. Well, that was bad enough in the sense that, well, he's a politician and I thought this is his problem, it has nothing to do with me. But 4 months after that, when I was leaving my consulting rooms one day, there was somebody standing at a corner and he decided to shoot into my car. And one of the bullets went through my arm and the other 2 missed me. And at that moment I did not realize that my whole life turned upside down. And with that, the police came and said I couldn't work, my children became a target, and life became hell. Wherever we went, there were guards, there were people to guard us. The children went to school with an armed guard, they went jogging with an armed guard. And life was bad enough without it. Peshawar is a very violent city. We have bomb blasts and things like that. But by and large, I felt that that was everybody's problem. Suddenly it became my personal problem. What do I miss about home is not missing scenery or the mountains or the pristine lakes. It's just home. Home is home. You always, it is somewhere where you're recognized, where you're known, where you don't have to qualify. But you walk away from it for various reasons, and I'm sure all of you have walked away for reasons which are even more dire than mine were. Then I came here. It was like taking a step out of a window when you don't know how far the ground is, you don't know what you will hit. and you don't know what to expect at the other end. But when I arrived in Louisville, and today it's been exactly 1 year since we have been here. We arrived here on the 15th of June last year. There was Chris standing at the airport with all these children, and they had banners and saying, "Welcome to America." And I tell you, it was the most touching scene of my life, because I'd walked away from a people that were mine, that I felt I belonged to, into an environment which was not mine. And I really did not know that somebody who is nothing for me should welcome me and should make me feel at home. And ever since, so much has been done by the resettlement agencies. People like Chris who walk the extra mile, they have done everything possible to make our lives what they are. And so much for my children has been done for them. I think that without the resettlement agencies, we would not be able to survive here. If it were not for people like Catholic Charities, I do not think that we could ever be able to resettle in an environment which isn't ours.